Oh, hey, how's it going? You clicked on this link because you wanted to see the dual mono pedal board. I wanted to have a pedal board that I could go DI with the Opus, and also have pedals that I could play into a tube amp or a small combo like my Friedman Dirty Shirley Mini. And I wanted to have certain pedals that would play well with multiple different types of amplifiers. All the pedals are heard into the headphones, so if you wanted to just take your guitar, this small little pedal board, 110 power, wherever you're at, and you're golden. You're in your own world. The Opus sounds glorious. Now, the presets that came in there, I think, like a lot of people have said, they're a little on the noisy side. I created my own the day I got it, and I got it in there as John's first. But I think I'll have to delete it and then wipe it so that way you guys can, whoever buys this, they can register that Opus under their name. But regardless, I'm going to run through these pedals. Let's check this out. So, okay, you plugged in, you powered it up, and nothing's going on because you have a tuner under here. And yes, it is the new Canvas tuner. Check this out. So now I'm engaged, right? So I have sound. And I'm running through my two QSC K10s and a Adams subwoofer that's under the desk. So that's what you're going to be hearing, captured by the Rode mic, also recording the DAW. Now you open it up, and now we've got my tuner. So pretty close. That looks good. Awesome. Okay. Now, you notice there's a picture on here. There's a picture of my Friedman Dirty Shirley 40 and my my favorite Les Paul guitar that I own, Dixie. You can upload your own picture on there if you want. I can delete that if you want to, regardless, whatever. What I did was I hooked up the USB-C that goes to the Opus on the back. You don't have to pull off the Opus to plug it into your computer. Everything's in the back. Just run your USB-C to that. The MISO it's fed out the back as well. You'll see I put the extra bracket on these Vertex boards. I like to do that. And then I fabricate the holes for your XLR cables and your 1/4-inch cables. This particular one, I did a light tractor paint black, and then went over that with bed liner, a spray-on bed liner. I did 2 coats of that, and I liked how it turned out. That's pretty cool. Gives it a unique look, you know. And then you'll see in here, I've got the, I soldered up these 1/4-inch cables here. This is your input jack right here. You can see the guitar's coming in. Okay, so your guitar goes in. You're going to hit the tuner. Out of the tuner, you're going to go into the Octaland. Okay? You're going to go into the Octaland. Out of the Octaland, you're going to hit the fuzz. Out of the fuzz, you're going to go into the Deja vibe. I tested it both ways. A lot of guys like the vibe before the fuzz, after the fuzz, whatever. With this setup and what I had going on in my headphones, through my PA, through the tube amp, this is the best. I mean, I liked it this way. They could always be changed. Some cables could be swapped around if needed, but this really sounded great to me. So you're out of the Deja vibe, and then you're back into the interface. And here's a unique twist. You could skip these pedals here. You could skip your tuner, vibe, fuzz, and Octaland all together, and then unplug your guitar from the guitar input that I've got here, where you will come out and go directly into your compressor. Right? You're going to go into that Cali 76 Stacked Edition, and then from there, you're going to go to Blue Highway. But my point is, that's why there's a jumper there. If you can see the jumper there. That enabled me to have everything coming in and out of the interface. We don't have any weird cables coming around. I don't, you can see I kind of like things really tidy as much as possible. So that's there. Unique twist. I like it. It's, gives you more options, I should say. So yeah, you come in with your guitar after your fuzz, octave, Deja, your vibe, I should say. Then you go into compressor, and then from the compressor goes into the Blue Highway. And this is a wonderful overdrive. Really going to be sad to see this one go. What's nice about this is the high cut and the bass here really play a huge factor in your tone shaping for whatever amp you're playing or stacking. Is up here, we'll get into this a little later, but up here you have a Dumble style amplifier on this side and a Klon over here. And again, these three here really play a huge role in your light gain tones and overdriving whatever amplifier you want. Also, taking the fuzz and running it into either the Blue Highway or the Klon or the Dumble style amp really comes up with some unique and fun flavors. So out of all that, we leave the Blue Highway, we go into the unobtainium up here. So now we're coming into the Klon, and then the, like I said, the Dumble style amplifier, which has SSS or ODS, you know. Your SSS is going to be a little bit more higher headroom. Your ODS is going to clip a little sooner. They're fun to play with. They both sound wonderful. Favorite pedal. Okay, out of the unobtainium, we go to the Jam Waterfalls, right? This is another killer chorus. From the Jam Waterfall, we go to the Polychrome Walrus, which is a flanger, and this flanger is phenomenal. You want to talk about tweaking for days. You set that thing up like crazy. And then from there, we leave the pedalboard again. Now over here, this is where we leave the, this is the effects send and return loop on the side. So what you can do is now you can insert pedals here, and you'll see I've got an exterior power that's run off of the Chalks DC7, so you can audition a pedal out here or two or whatever you want but you only have one power supply sitting out here to power one pedal. So if you had a daisy chain, and as long as you're paying attention to your milliamps, you're good. But you can run a set of pedals in between your overdrives and your modulation and before your reverbs and delays. So now you leave the effects loop and return, and you come into the micro vent up here. Awesome pedal. Now you'll see I've got a large barefoot button on here, and that is just because it's sunk a little bit lower than these two pedals here, and I wanted to be able to hit this without hitting any of these pedals here, even with a big foot. So you can hit these, hit that and not worry about those. Similar situation to why I put one on the Octolane. I also have the really tall ones that everything just fits so perfect in here. This build was a lot of fun. And yes, they are sunk in there, but I leave the compressor as an always-on tone shaping. And then the Cloudburst is a beautiful, fun little pedal to be able to get ambient. And we already saw the tuner. So, but yeah, these are to help, if you're playing live, a little easier hit those pedals and whatnot. Okay, so we leave the micro vent, and we are heading to the Diamond Memory Lane Deluxe. So this is like the best Memory Man on steroids. I love this pedal right here. This thing sounds so nice, so warm, very analog. And then out of the delay, here, and this is your tap. Okay, so on this board, this is your tap tempo right here. This is going to keep your delays in line with whatever you're doing. So you leave the Diamond Memory Lane and you run into the Flint. And the Flint, of course, has its own reverb and then a tremolo on the back end. Real similar to your Blackface Fender amplifiers. Sounds great. Out of the Flint, you're going to go into the Cloudburst, which is under here. This right here is your, like I said, your ambient sound. Real fun pedal to play with. Drones. For days, you can see I got the decay up a little bit here. It's great for that. Out of the Cloudburst, we go into the interface box, which from here, you have the option. This interface box is just phenomenal. You have the option to run 2 amps. Right now, we are running the Opus on the right channel. The left channel is open for if you wanted to run a tube amp out of there. Now here's the part where I say dual mono. This board is technically dual mono because you have 2 1/4-inch monos that can come out of this board and go to 2 amplifiers if you want. Or you have 2 XLR cables that can run DI. So you're dual mono into the front of house, you're dual mono into 2 cabinets, 2 speaker or combos or tube amplifiers, whatever, what have you. All right, so that's pretty cool. That build was awesome. And so the right, you can see it's jumpered out here. You have to pull the jumper, and then you can plug in for a tube amp. Or this jumper right here brings you back into the board and goes right into the Opus. Now, when you're running out of the MISO box in the back, for the DI, 1/4-inch. If you're going to run that, what you're going to want to do is disengage on the Opus. It's real easy. You just click on it, scroll over to your power amp and preamp, and then you just turn it off. I'm going to keep it on because we're going to keep doing that. And there's your power amp. You would turn that off as well. We're not going to do that because I'm just running through this board so you guys can see what it does. You're going to hear how quiet this thing is too. This thing is gloriously quiet. That's why we've got the fuzzes before any buffers, the Deja Vibe and the Octaland. All of that is before buffers. That way we don't run into any obscene noises and things like that. All right, well let's get on to some sounds. We already tuned up, so I'm in the in between position here. Here's the single coil hum. So when you hear that, you'll know that it's the single coil hum. Okay. Now if I turn it, it goes away a little bit, but it's going to be loud. So I'll keep it in the in-between here. All right. So let's go through the pedal here. Okay, so I like to leave the compressor on. And now first up on the docket was the tuner, then to the Octaland. Alright, that's got lots of... You're familiar with octaves. This has got some drive on it. You got some options on here. I got it on the glass setting right now. Next up is the fuzz. Okay, let's turn the volume down. So this is volume rolled back. Into the vibe. And then out of the vibe, remember we leave the board and then come back. And then it hits the compressor, and then from the compressor we go to the blue highway. And excuse me on my levels. Not sure how far that was driven. out of the Blue Highway, we go into the Unobtainium. So now we're on the top deck here. And you're going to have your clon first. And then you have the Overdrive Special Steel String Supreme pedal over here. The Unobtainium, we head over to the Jam Waterfalls chorus. So now we're going to be on. Sound. Okay, out of the Jam Waterfalls, we are into the Flanger. The flanger, we go out of the board again, and this is again the effects loop. We come back from the effects loop and we hit the micro vent. Things I like about this pedal is, check this out. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. All right. Out of the micro vent, we go into. Sorry, I'm looking at the paper. I want to make sure I get this right for you guys. We're now into the Diamond memory lane. I'll turn the mix up so you guys can get it better on it. Notice the trails? Yeah, you won't have any crazy choppy out of the Diamond memory lane, we are now into the Flint. Now right now there is some reverb on, here, sorry about the single coil. There is some reverb right now on the Opus. I forgot to mention that. I will turn that off right now so you can hear what the Flint is doing. So here's without the reverb on the Opus. Dry. Okay? Let's go to the 60s. Here's the 80s. I believe the 70s is the plate reverb. I like the plate on there. And then the tremolo. Pedal. Alright, so out of the Flint we go into another awesome pedal. We're back under the board here into the Cloudburst. So let's hear what this... You hear how it's droning? Now you can have a stringed orchestra behind you. That's a fun one. Okay, you could be on that one for days. Out of the Cloudburst, we are into... that's right, interface. And that is where, like I said, it goes to a daisy chain here, where you can disconnect that and run a tube amp out of there, or two tube amps if you want. If you're going to run, like I said, out of the MISO in the back here, you have to turn your preamps off and your power amps off on the Opus. So let's turn that off right now. Alright. Alright. Preamp and power amp are off. This is going to sound horrible. So this is without the preamp and the power amp of the Opus. Okay, let's turn the tube amp on. And I'm sorry, you're going to get the room microphone. Alright, so we're going to be playing now through the Friedman Dirty Shirley Mini combo. I've muted the mixer, so you're not hearing any of the DI from the Opus. And like I said, you can run here, or you can run your tube amp out of the pedal board on the side where it says left amp. Alright, sorry. can take your fuzz pedal and push it with the overdrive. You got different settings on this delay pedal, which is awesome. I believe there's like 4. Oops, sorry, hit the camera. I got the mix up really high. I was trying to show you guys. Alright. Now let's go back to the Opus. We'll get the power amp and preamp turned on. Alright. Unmute the mixer. And we're now muting the board. I got the tuner on. So I will be uploading this video with the pedal board on Reverbs, so that way everybody has a chance to be able to see what this thing's capable of. And I'm going to miss it. Hope you guys like it. Alright, I've been John. Thanks a lot. Cheers.